and let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I'm trying out a new setup. I got a different mic going. So a little bit of feedback goes a long way. Second thing, we're talking about reactive dogs in the home tonight. And there's a lot of loud noise outside my apartment. So you guys may get a live demonstration of what a reactive dog in the home looks like. Fingers crossed. My dog Monzo is very tired. We've had a long day of walking and sniffing and acupuncture. He should be sleeping pretty good. But there's a good chance you'll hear some barking in the background. Let's all cross our fingers that Monzo stays asleep. So real quick, if you guys can hear me and see me, just give me a thumbs up in the comments down below so I know that everything is working as it should. Technology isn't always our best friend. So like I said, my name is Louise Belmont, co-owner of Red Pointy Dog Training, reactive dog expert, reactive dog mom, and I'm a certified professional dog trainer. Tonight, we're going to talk about dogs that are reactive in your home. And we're going to specifically go over 3 skills I want you to focus on if your dog struggles with reactivity in the home. So first things first, let's talk about what reactivity in the home looks like. If you see me look to the corner, it's because I have notes. Yeah, I'm prepared. So what does reactivity in the home look like? Now, it's going to vary dog to dog. For most dogs, it usually starts off with your dog hearing someone approaching the home. That could be a UPS driver, the Amazon truck. It could be that your best friend's coming over and their car pulling up the driveway tells your dog that someone's there. I want to know in the comments if you're joining me live or if you're catching me on the replay or if you're over on YouTube. Hey guys, tell me in the comments, is your dog reactive to visitors that come to your home, or are they just reactive to delivery drivers? Now, those categories of people and visitors are very different. So it would make sense if your dog's behavior differs from group to group. So some dogs, when they hear a car pull up the driveway, they will run to the window to get a better view, and they may start barking out the window. If your dog can't see out the window, they may jump up on a couch to get a better vantage point. I took a great picture of Monzo earlier today, standing up on a step so he could crane his neck to look out the window at the hummingbirds coming to visit. So they may start by just hearing a car go by, hearing a car pull right into your driveway. And some dogs don't care about that. Some dogs only care about the person coming in the home. And so a dog that I would classify as reactive, and reactivity is like a giant umbrella term that covers like a lot of behaviors from fear to frustration to anxiety to overstimulation and everything in between. So if your dog runs to the door barking and gets really worked up, hackles up, or if your dog barks and runs the other way, hiding, maybe they're a little nervous, maybe they're uncomfortable. A dog can be reactive even if they warm up to the person. So, hey Lillian, thanks for joining. So if a dog walks into your, or person walks into your home and your dog barks and goes crazy and they're all worked up, but they warm up quickly, that's great. But that's still reactivity, right? That's still not an ideal behavior for your dog to have to experience because they're getting so worked up emotionally. And then where does that energy go? Okay, we talked about that in one of my recent blog posts. So we don't want them getting so worked up. It's not good for them behaviorally, just it's not good for their body to hold that much stress all the time. So a reactive dog could also be the kind of dog that doesn't warm up to people. Maybe you're a little nervous about what they're going to do when people walk into your home, whether they're going to jump up and scratch them or jump up and nip them. Or maybe you have a dog that they're okay with people if they're handing him food, but once the food stops, I don't know, just don't touch his head. Just don't make eye contact. Okay, these are all dogs that I'd consider to be reactive in the home. If you're not sure if you're not sure if your dog is reactive, tell me about their behavior in the comments below. I'd be happy to help you out. So hopefully I've pre-qualified you. You know if your dog is dealing with reactivity inside your home. So what's the first thing you can do? What's my top recommendation so you can help your dog and get some peace back in your life? It's called safe space, safe haven, whatever you want to call it. When your dog has a space all their own where they can feel safe and relaxed, it's a game changer for so many things. So let me tell you about how you can use a safe space, and then I'll tell you about how you can teach it. Safe space is incredibly helpful if you're having work done on your house. We just had mini splits installed. Let me tell you, that was a stressful endeavor for me and not at all for my dog. Because he could go into his safe space, which is this crate right next to me, and work on a lick mat while the guy was in here doing stuff. A safe space can be used when you're having friends come over, because meeting people at the door is such a big, stressful event for dogs and for people, quite frankly, especially if you're an introvert like me. So having your dog in a different location of the home when guests enter takes that stress off your dog. It's up to you to welcome the guests in and get them settled, and then your dog can come out and play if it's appropriate for them. So a safe space could be helpful when you're having work done, when you're having visitors over, or if your dog is really uncomfortable about a certain sound going on outside, like thunder, fireworks, the lawnmower, motorcycles, they may seek sanctuary in their safe space because we've taught them to feel safe there, which segues beautifully into the next point. How do we teach a safe space? A safe space is safe because your dog feels safe there. So for Monzo, his safe space is his crate, but your dog might not feel safe in a crate. And so a crate doesn't really foot the bill well. So I usually coach my clients to teach a safe space that is a room, whether it's a closed door or a baby gate, as far away from the main entry as possible, where we teach dogs to feel safe. Step 1 may look like giving your dog a peanut butter Kong, shutting the door and coming back in 5 minutes, if they can handle that without experiencing stress or distress. One of my clients' dogs are working on safe space right now, and all we're doing is giving her a lick mat while we sit on the opposite side of a baby gate, because being apart from her people is very difficult. But safe space is going to be so beneficial for her. So whatever step 1 looks like for you, we really want to make sure that your dog is learning to feel safe in their safe space. We use food occupier toys to teach independence and teach a dog that they can occupy themselves without you, and to build a positive association about being there. We can play calming music. I really like Tibetan meditation music through a dog's ear, some kind of music that helps drown out the noise of your visitors or whatever activity is going on. You can't always drown out hammering or loud sounds, but it can help. Other things that could be helpful are calming pheromones like Adaptil, or you may even find that just putting all of your dog's things in this space provides them with comfort. If this sounds interesting to you and you want more information, just comment safe space in the chat and I'll make sure to send you the link to one of our YouTube videos where I go into safe space a little bit deeper. But that's my top recommendation. I really think all dogs, reactive or not, should be taught to have a safe space in the home, a space where they can go and relax and not have to interact with humans if they need a break. Okay, next up, we have tip number 2. Now, I should mention, any of you guys joining live, thank you, by the way, for this impromptu. I know I wasn't planning this. If you have questions, drop them in the comments down below. And if you guys are catching me on the replay, feel free to drop your comments as well, and I will get back to you. Okay, tip number 2, arrival routines. Here's the thing. A routine is a routine because it's the same every time. And when it becomes a routine, it becomes predictable. It's a pattern. Every single time Monzo meets somebody new, we follow the exact same routine. We walk outside on his leash and his harness. I tell him who's coming so we can start to associate them by name. Then he gets to walk up and sit and take a treat from them. Sometimes there's some barking involved, but Monzo's 13. We know how he greets people, and he's had a lot of opportunity to work on this routine. He gets the treat, maybe a few more, and then he says, "Scratch my butt." Okay, that's his routine. And it's the same thing that happens every single time, even in the rain. That routine might not work for you, and it might not work for your dog. What's important is that you come up with a routine that does, that works for your dog, that prevents them from getting in unsafe situations where they may nip at somebody or jump up on somebody. And it allows your dog to feel safe because they know what's coming next. They can anticipate what's going to happen because they've done it every single time they greet a person. So your arrival routine with your dog matters, and your arrival routine with your guests or visitors matters as well. So when I have friends come over, they call or text Nobody knocks on my door. Comment below what happens when someone knocks at your door. Is it like, oh, let's go say hi? Or is it like, oh my God, an absolute shitstorm, excuse my language, and everyone goes crazy? So, like I said, we had some work done in the apartment recently, and they needed to come in and they knocked on the door. We did not get to follow our routine. And so what happens is we coach our dogs that when we follow the arrival routine, it is a friend. No reactivity necessary. And if they don't follow the routine, it's okay if you're a little on edge, but I'm still going to put you in your safe space because it's for me to handle, not my dog. So arrival routines, like I said, can look different. So here's a couple of examples. Your arrival routine could be that when someone comes over, they call you from their driveway, your driveway, and then you put your dog in their safe space. Your guest comes in, sits, and gets settled, and then your dog can come and say hello. Your arrival routine could be just like what I have with Monzo. I leash him up, we go outside, we greet in the same location every single time. Your arrival routine could be that, someone texts you, hey, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes, and your dog goes in the safe space, and then they come in and sit, and maybe your dog comes out and does some training and goes back to their safe space. It really depends on your dog's behavior and their needs and what's appropriate for them given the behavior that they're dealing with, okay? But I want you to pick a routine. Here's the really important part. If you're multitasking, come back to me. If you learn nothing else, this is it. Dress rehearsal, okay? If you don't have a lot of people over your house like the rest of the world, you need to practice. And that doesn't mean have parties every night or become a more social person than you really are. It means practice your greeting routine with the people your dog already knows, likes, and trusts. So I practice this greeting routine with Monzo and Jake like 80% of the time. Sometimes it's pouring and I really don't want to go outside, but and I'll be like, we'll meet you at the door. But most of the time I put the leash on him, we go outside and we say hi to Jake. We say hi to Daddy when he comes home. Monzo doesn't care. He's happy. He's not reactive, but he gets to rehearse his arrival routine, his grading routine almost every single day. And so it becomes a habit for him, and it'll become a habit for your dog as well. Is that going to stop the behavior? No, but it will dramatically help your dog to have a better sense of understanding of what's expected from them in that situation. Okay. So tip number 2, arrival routines. If you need help around this, just comment in the comments below and I'll make sure to get back to you afterwards. Okay. Any questions so far? Melanie says, insane barking and excitement when the doorbell rings. I'm going to assume that everybody else in the world can experience that. Thank goodness I don't have a doorbell. If I did, I'd unplug it. I just unplug it. No, thank you. Don't bother with the doorbell. Okay. Tip number 3, and our final one for tonight, is capturing calm behaviors. So I say it this way because there's like 30 million ways you can do this. And the way I want you to do it is the way that you will do it. Okay. Now, if you've worked with us, we've probably worked on place. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can check out our YouTube page. We have some free training on teaching your dog to go to their place or to settle on a dog bed. Maybe you're familiar with the relaxation protocol. Maybe you're familiar with the hangout hack. All the things to teach your dog to relax on a bed. Head over to our Instagram. I posted a couple of videos over there as well. But what's important is that we start to teach your dog that they can earn reinforcement by relaxing on a mat or relaxing on their bed or relaxing in their crate. It doesn't matter. Whatever feels right for you, whatever fits in your day-to-day life. So yeah, I'm working with this dog who doesn't really care about dog beds. She wants to be wherever her mom is. That's fine. But it would also be really great if we could cue her to go to her bed as part of a greeting routine, because that's something else she struggles with. So what we're doing is just, every day we're filling a jar with 20 treats. And the human's job is to empty that jar to reward the dog 20 times for being on her bed. That means we just capture calm behavior throughout the day. The dog walks over and sniffs the bed. We drop a treat in it. Nice work. Good girl. The dog just happens to walk over the bed. We drop a treat on it. Amazing. Who's a smart dog? And if the dog happens to sit on it, we can reward that too. And if the dog isn't doing any of the above and we walk by the bed, we put a treat on it for him. So the dog walks into the room and says, why is there a cookie on the bed? That's kind of amazing. Where did that must come from? The cookie fairy. Okay. So what we're doing is just creating reinforcement around the bed. And very quickly, when we start to capture these moments, the dog will start to offer them more often. In fact, you'll find that within a week or two, your dog is just choosing to lay and sit on their bed on their own, not waiting there in anticipation of food, but just going there thinking, maybe today it'll happen, because they don't always get it directly from you. So that's one way you could do it. The other way I like to do it is when I sit down and watch TV at night. I'm catching up on House of Dragons because Jake is pet sitting. It's my guilty pleasure, don't tell. That or Outlander. I digress. Sit down, have a couple of treats with you for your dog. And if they're on their bed relaxing, toss them a treat. If they're still relaxing, toss them another treat. And if they're still there, you guessed it, toss them another treat. And when you're all done, tell them, all done. Now, if you don't want to reward your dog from the couch, or if you sit here and eat at the couch like I do, when you sit down, you could give your dog a lick mat on their bed. And that's encouraging calm and reinforcing calm as well, because licking promotes calm behavior. It's a win-win. If you don't have a lick mat, go and get one. Game changers. In fact, I owe Monzo a pumpkin lick mat. He always gets one after dinner. So those are your tips. Let's recap, okay? So if your dog is reactive in the home, it either happens when someone pulls in the driveway or comes in the door, whether they're only reactive to delivery drivers or they're reactive to people coming into your home as well. Tip number 1, safe space. If you do nothing else, you're going to do safe space. It is so very important and so helpful for our more sensitive dogs. If you need help with this one, just ask in the comments and I'll get you all of our resources around safe space. Number 2, arrival routines. Create a routine, something that your dog does, something that you do, and something that your guest does. We all have roles to play. And then you repeat your dress rehearsal. You practice so that your dog can anticipate what's expected of them, and they know the routine because they do it every single day with friends, family members, and new people. And last up, you're going to capture calm behavior. So really spend some time and be really observant of your dog choosing to calm down or choosing to settle on a mat, their dog bed, or their crate. I hope this was helpful for you guys. My plan is to do one every day this week. So we're going to do Reactive Dog Chats live on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'll post a schedule either tonight or tomorrow so you guys can kind of anticipate when they're going to happen. And we have a couple different topics as we go through the week. So I'll be sure to post those for you as well. If this was helpful, tell me in the comments below. And I hope to see you guys again. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tell your dog I said hi, give them a treat from me, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.